Hi Cancer, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is Thursday, May 28th, 2020. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Cancer for the upcoming week, which includes this last part of May and into June. So because it's a general love reading, it can pertain to anything, relationships or otherwise. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards. You may feel like I'm reading for you. You might feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. Parts of this reading may resonate for you, Cancer. Other parts may not. Take what does, leave behind what doesn't, and hopefully by the end you feel like you have something worthwhile that will benefit you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, Cancer, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. There is more specific information regarding my readings and my videos in the description box below. And returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate your support. So I'm going to give this deck one more good shuffle and we'll get started. Carmela is here today. She just came out of her cage. She's having a snack over on her travel cage. You can probably see part of her. And she seems to be in a pretty good mood today, so keep our fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. Okay, Cancer, let's cut this deck and see what we've got. We're going to start off with the Seven of Wands in reverse, paired with the Devil in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse. King of Cups. The Empress. Death in reverse. And then we have the Magician in reverse. So this looks like it's going to be interesting, Cancer. So we have the King of Cups, Empress, Magician in reverse. A few cards indicating that you might be giving up the fight, no longer defending something. Maybe feeling a little bit like that's kind of setting you free or no longer feeling obligated. Giving something up. This may have been something that's kept you feeling down in the past or made you feel unhappy. And I feel like you're freeing yourself from that by letting it go or giving it up or not fighting for it anymore, something like that. So we have a King of Cups, Empress energy on the table. This could be the same person, could be two separate people. The King of Cups is somebody who's very loving, very emotionally available, someone who's not afraid to express himself, someone who's very compassionate, very passionate partner if it's an intimate relationship. The Empress is somebody who's very nurturing, mothering, again, compassionate, loyal like the King of Cups. Somebody who might be a little bit more mature. Does not have to be someone more mature, but this is somebody who has a lot of experience under her belt. She's been around the block a few times. She's got her shit together. And this could be the same person. Could be two separate people. I haven't decided yet. Feels like there could be some manipulation or somebody trying to negatively influence a situation. Maybe this is what you're letting go of, Cancer. But it's still happening. It feels like something has continued. And again, this might be the thing that you've been fighting against or defending yourself against. But I have a feeling that you're releasing this or letting it go. It feels like freeing yourself from having to worry about it again or not allowing it to hold you back, keep you down. Because I do feel like it's something that has caused some dissatisfaction, some disappointment, unhappiness. Maybe even a sense of failure. So let's get some more cards out here, Cancer, see what else we can get. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Magician again in reverse. Knight of Swords. Queen of Wands in reverse. Five of Wands, clarifying this King of Cups. Hierophant, clarifying the Empress. Hierophant in reverse. The World, clarifying this Magician. And we have Death in reverse, clarifying Death in reverse. So Death in reverse to me can indicate something that needs to die but shouldn't. Something that continues, something that's hanging on, a cycle that hasn't closed out. Again, something that it could indicate slow transformation, something that's not changing at a quick enough pace for you. And again, I do feel like there's some kind of manipulation you're dealing with, some kind of trickster energy, somebody who is trying to influence a situation or a possible relationship or connection. And I feel like this is continuing, but at the same time, you may be letting it go or not allowing it to influence you anymore. I do feel like this could be a work situation, could be somebody that you're working with, working connection, something that you're, somebody that you're collaborating with within a work situation, work dynamic, employment of some sort. I think this Queen of Wands is probably representing the Magician energy. Here she comes. She decided to make herself known. Here's Carmilla, and you know what? I'm gonna try to keep her in a good mood by giving her a little bit of apple. She likes treats, so if I give her a little treat once in a while, maybe she won't bite me. Is that good, Apple? She'll make a mess on my shoulder, but it's worth it. So I can't sit here and hold the apple the whole time, but I'll give you bites, okay? Or you can go down on the table and eat it by yourself instead of having me feed it to you. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that, Carmilla? On the table? Okay, she's going to sit on the table and eat her apple. So the Queen of Wands in reverse can be somebody who is very difficult to deal with, somebody who is challenging to work with. And again, I do feel like this is probably the person that you're dealing with that is embodying this Magician in reverse energy. Somebody who is trying to manipulate a situation, wants things their way. I feel like this person is very demanding and difficult. And again, this feels like it could be a workplace situation. The Queen of Wands in reverse can be somebody who can be jealous, envious, maybe a little bit conceited, stuck on themselves, kind of thinking like they're the one who's always right. They always have the answers. They always know the direction to take. This person always is the one that claims to know the truth. If you're stuck or confused or uncertain about something, go to the Queen of Wands because she'll have an answer for you and she will be right. I think this person has caused you some grief to a certain extent. You might be kind of deciding what's the right thing to do in this circumstance. Which direction do I go? Maybe you are in a position where you have to work with this individual, although it feels like you could be letting go of this opportunity itself in order to get away from this individual, to free yourself from this manipulation. That's what I get from these cards, that you might be letting go of an opportunity or a workplace situation in order to release yourself from this. Okay, Carmilla, you just stomping through my cards is not, this is not something that I'm okay with. And why you had to cross the table and then just walk back and forth a bunch of times on the cards, I'm not sure. But I know what you were doing. I know you were trying to get me to mess around with you, and I'm trying to do something right now, okay? So, she left most of her apple crumbs on the paper towel, which is nice. Keeping it clean, Carmilla. There's some on the ground, of course. I have bird seed, bird crap, food particles, feathers, all kinds of bird stuff all over my floor in my house. It's not that I don't clean it up, because I do. It's just that whenever she's out, she's just always creating a mess. So if you want a pet, just be aware, birds are messy. And they wipe their mouths on your shirt, like she just did with me. I'm not a napkin. So I feel like it's almost like you've decided, okay, well, this individual's not going to stop behaving the way they're behaving. They're going to continue their antics. So maybe I just need to get out of the situation that I'm in, stop collaborating with this individual, stop working with this person, maybe stop communicating with them, because they're not going to change. Which may be challenging for you, Cancer, because I do believe you're this King of Cups, and I think that it kind of goes against your grain to kind of push somebody away, even if this individual is difficult or challenging to work with or be around. I don't think it's in your nature to do that. So you might be struggling a little bit with this decision or with the actions you've taken in the recent past, which I feel, again, is to kind of release yourself from this individual or from this energy. It's not in your nature to, again, push somebody away or not include them. And I'm still going with the fact that I think this king is also represented by this Empress energy. But again, I may change my mind. I just feel, Cancer, that you're a very caring, wise individual, somebody who includes everybody in what you do and how you feel towards people, because that's just kind of the person you are. You don't typically push people away. You give people the benefit of the doubt. You're fine with people being different and having different opinions and having different styles of working or ways of looking at things. You're fine with that. But I think that this Queen of Wands has taken things just a step too far, and so you're finding that you almost have to move away from this individual. Whatever that means to you, Cancer. Like I said, it could be you're no longer working with them, you're no longer talking to them or collaborating with them. Maybe you're in the same workplace still, or you're in the same social circle still, but you just kind of have distanced yourself. So we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And there's Death in reverse for the third time. Still clarifying this Magician in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse. Five of Swords in reverse. Eight of Swords. Magician in reverse, clarifying the Magician in reverse. These cards are pretty amazing. So we've got the Magician in reverse 3 times. That's interesting. So, and then we have the 3 of Swords. So what I got from this double Magician in reverse is that it's possible that by you stepping away from this individual, that ultimately their antics, their nature, which is to push things towards having things their way, will ultimately counteract and work against them. That's what I got with these cards. That ultimately, in the end, they're going to manipulate themselves into a corner. So by you stepping away from the situation, which again, I don't necessarily feel like it's in your nature to walk away from conflict. The King of Cups is somebody who cares about everybody and cares about the outcome for everybody. So walking away from conflict is not necessarily in your nature, Cancer, because if you do that, then the problem just gets left unresolved, right? And it doesn't make people happy just to leave something hanging. But I think what you may have realized is that by doing this, at least right now, what's going to happen is this person is not going to change their ways. They're going to continue doing what they do, but it's not going to affect you. It's ultimately going to affect them. And so it's almost like you're turning the table. You're stepping away from the situation so this person can get a taste of their own medicine. See for themselves how they're affecting people and what their antics do. For those that are around them. How their actions affect others and how their pitfalls and downfalls affect other people. Because I don't think this Queen of Wands is seeing it. But by you stepping away, it turns the tables a little bit. Now there is an Ace of Pentacles on the table. So to me, with this Three of Pentacles, to me this could indicate giving up on some kind of opportunity or letting something go for now. It feels like maybe there was an opportunity to work towards something that may have been profitable, may have been beneficial in some way to you and to this group. Again, I feel like this is some kind of group dynamic. It could be a workplace situation. It could be a social circle. These could even be family members. I do strongly feel like this Empress energy is also this King of Cups. So there's a perfect example as to why you should not put too much weight into the gender of the cards, because it's the energy of the card, not the gender, that matters. So again, what I'm getting from these cards is that this King is a very nurturing, caring, compassionate individual. And it's in his nature to show others that he cares, and he's dedicated to making things work and making sure everybody's happy. So leaving behind something unresolved feels uncomfortable, but at the same time, it might be what you are inclined to do or need to do, because you know it's in the best interest, not just of yourself, but for this person. So they can see once and for all maybe how their actions, how their words, how their way of operating affects others. And it might be the best tactic to use for someone like this if you care about them. Instead of getting in this person's face and see what you're doing to me and other people by the way you're acting, this is not kosher, this is not how people behave. Instead of getting in this person's face, because likely what you're going to get is a response that indicates this person doesn't care or thinks that you're wrong or will argue against you or find some way to prove you wrong or even get worse in the way that they behave or communicate or interact. Instead of doing that, you just, sorry, I've got wet apple in my lap, getting on my arm. Something you get used to, sticking your arm in food, in bird poop. Don't bite me. Because I think this person has definitely caused you a significant amount of grief over time. And I think that you maybe have even been waiting or hoping that things would change. And they're just not. They're just not getting better. This person is still causing a considerable amount of grief for more than just you. I do feel like this is within a group of people, especially with the Ten of Cups in reverse coming out here. So Cancer, let's get this next deck out. I want to give this one more good shuffle, and then we'll see what else we get for you. There's the Empress again, clarifying the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And the Magician again, but this time in the upright. He's out here 4 times. 3 times in reverse, once in the upright. He's clarifying this Magician in reverse. So this is interesting because I feel like this one in the upright is associated with this Empress energy. So the magician can indicate, manifestation, working to achieve something that maybe you've been wanting or something that you've been working on in your life. This could be job related, could be relationships, it could be anything. Building a home, building a community. I think, let me put the rest of these out and then we'll talk about these a little bit more. So we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups in reverse. Two of Wands. The Star in reverse. Don't bite my ear. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. And then Justice. So again, I get the feeling like you've kind of disassociated, kind of removed yourself, stepped away from, distanced yourself from this manipulative energy, this Queen of Wands. And because you're coming from 2 different places and working with this Magician in reverse, this Queen of Wands, is not working. It's resulting in this missed opportunity, grasping a hold of what you really want out of this relationship. So distancing yourself from this person or removing their influence from the circumstances is, I think, the tactic of choice, because you've kind of wrestled again with this idea, like, you know, this is who I am, this is how I operate. I'm the King of Cups. I include everybody. I see everybody's worth. So walking away from the situation, leaving this person behind, or kind of separating from this person is challenging for you, because you are basically disincluding them. But it's a choice you've made, because I feel like you've decided, if you don't use this tactic, then you'd be going against your true nature. And it's possible that by distancing yourself from this person, maybe separating yourself, ending the relation. I don't know how severe this is for you. If you've actually severed the relationship, decided just not to talk to this person for a while, maybe, again, it could just be you're distancing yourself from them when you're in the workplace or wherever you are associated with this person. Distancing yourself from this person might make this person realize, well, wait a minute, there's something going on here. Why is Cancer distancing themselves? Why aren't they talking to me anymore? Why don't they want to work with me anymore? And it's possible, I think that at least your hope is that once this person comes to a realization of what's going on here, that maybe they will let go of this energy, this manipulating energy, feeling like they have to have things their way. It has to be done like this. The Queen of Wands says so. This is how it has to be done. And maybe ultimately, with some time, you'll see a change. Or this person will take it the other direction and in turn distance themselves from you, and then the relationship, you know, ultimately ends up severed or just dissipates, just ends. But it wasn't your choice, ultimately. It was this Queen of Wands choice. If this person just ultimately is unable to change, is unable to reflect on how their behavior is affecting other people, and Cancer says, well, this is my tactic. I'm just going to step away for a little bit. I'm not going to get in your face. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to handle this conflict the way I would handle it and what's comfortable for me, and I'm just going to step away. And this person may realize, well, wait a minute, Cancer's not hanging around anymore. Cancer's not communicating with me. Or Cancer's not doing what I want them to do, or behaving the way I think they should behave. And what they might realize is they're kicking themselves in the ass, and they need to quit their antics and get with the program or get out. So let's get this last round out, Cancer, and see what else we can come up with. And then we'll wrap this up. So we have a Queen of Pentacles now. Okay, so this might be a third party, which I suspected from the beginning with this Empress energy, because she's out here with this Empress too. But let's get the rest of the cards out and see what else we get. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Six of Wands. The Chariot. Ace of Swords in reverse, 8 of Wands, Two of Pentacles, this time in the upright position. And then we have the Nine of Wands again, but this time in the upright position. Here, you know what? If you're going to start chewing on my ear, how about chewing on your apple? Yeah, you take a bite of apple instead of a bite of my earlobe. The apple's much tastier. I'm willing to bet that the apple's probably tastier. Don't you think? Cancer, the apple's most definitely tastier than my earlobe. Okay, so there's a Queen of Pentacles on the table here. I'm dropping your crumbs in my lap. So Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very grounded, hardworking, loyal, compassionate, puts others first. This is somebody who you can absolutely depend on, trustworthy, guaranteed. This is the type of person you want in your corner, whether it's a partner, an intimate partner, or otherwise friend, family member, co-worker. This is somebody that you know you can depend on. Okay, if you go down there, please don't run through my cards. Okay, please don't run through my cards. She's going to eat some more apple, and then she's going to run through my cards. So I think this person could represent the Empress. Now, it could be both, right? But I think for some reason, it's possible that this is another individual, for example, who's decided not to work with this Magician in reverse Queen of Wands energy. Possible that this is somebody else who's kind of distanced themselves from the situation, and maybe you'd like to see this person come back. This might be somebody that you currently work with, or that is associated within this group dynamic, this working dynamic, that is also unhappy with what's going on with this Queen of Wands. And I think, again, this tactic of kind of removing yourself, disassociating with this Queen of Wands, is a way of saying, you know, this is how we're going to move forward. This is how the group is going to move forward and make progress and be successful. And if this is how you want to do it too, you're welcome to join us. But if you don't want to operate in this manner, then maybe it's time for you to go. So it might be, I don't know if those words have actually been spoken. That's the thing. And King of Cups, you may be, you know, you might just be a coworker. I don't feel like you're a boss or, you know, a manager or someone who necessarily sits in a position of authority where you can tell somebody to get out if you don't like the way they're behaving or acting. But I do believe you have a certain level of influence because of your nature as the King of Cups, Empress energy. I'm going to still include you in this Empress energy because I feel strongly it represents you, and possibly also this Queen of Pentacles, who again could be just somebody that you're associated with, somebody that you work with, or somebody that you'd like to work with. But I think that this Queen of Pentacles has also distanced herself from this Queen of Wands. And it's, you know, you're flicking the apple all over my cards. Can you leave it on the napkin, please? She's going to town on this apple. So again, I get the sense that you're trying to turn the tables a little bit on this Queen of Wands energy, and hopeful that either A, they'll realize what's going on, realize what they're doing, realize how they're acting, behaving, communicating, whatever that looks like, and change or quit. Either change or quit. Figure it out. Change the way you are interacting, approaching people, conversing with people, collaborating with people, or get out. Give it up. Leave. I think more than anything, Cancer, what I'm getting is a kind of an internal struggle, or maybe it's not internal. Maybe it's just a lack of clarity on whether or not you're doing the right thing. Is this the right thing? Is this ultimately going to lead you down the path that you want to go? You are, to a certain extent, kind of trapped by your nature, by who you are. You are imprisoned by the type of person that you are and can't do this any other way because it would go against your nature. But is this going to be enough? And is this the right way to go? Is it ultimately going to lead you to some kind of positive outcome? Whatever that looks like for you. I think that's the question, and I have to say, based on what I'm seeing in the cards, it looks like you're doing the right thing. I mean, you can't change people, right? You can't change who they are, how they act, how they think, ultimately what they do. You can certainly have an opinion about it, and you can express that opinion. You could, I guess, potentially fight them or argue with them or, you know, cause some kind of conflict to impress upon them your opinion or your idea of how you think things should go. But then really, ultimately, you're adopting this Queen of Wands persona, her mode of operation, right? And that's not what you want because that's not who you are. So how do you go about dealing with somebody like this? Well, I think you've taken the right direction. I'm not sure that you're going to see a fast outcome. I don't know that this situation will be resolved quickly. And I think that's part of what maybe has you a little bit concerned or a little uncertain about your choice of how to move forward with the situation, because it's not a quick fix. It doesn't look like it's going to be a quick fix for you, and that just means, you know, again, that you're going to have to deal a little bit with some grief with, hang on, issues when I have more than a couple cards to look at. So you may have to deal with a little bit of grief concerning the idea that this isn't going to move fast, that you're going to have to probably work through this for a period of time to get to your end result, which ultimately is justice. Justice for everybody, really. It's not just justice for you, again, because you're the King of Cups, right? You want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to feel satisfied and feel like they achieved the outcome that they wanted. But without pushing your agenda in an aggressive manner or feeling, you know, treating it like this is your situation, so you get to call the shots, because that's not who you are. It's not how you operate. But because you're taking this softer approach, we'll call it a softer approach, right? It's a smart tactic, but it's a softer approach, and you're going to get your point across, but it's going to take some time. And if you don't get your point across, I think that what your goal is then is to have this person just realize that she just did a really sloppy, wet crap on the floor and then ran through my cards. You know what? I'm glad you didn't poop on my cards, but you're a messy bird, and there she's eating her apple. She's so lucky she's cute, isn't she? She just dropped her wet apple all over my card. The Three of Pentacles in reverse now has soggy apple on it because Carmela decided that's where it needed to be. Well, fortunately, I'm pretty much done with this reading, so I'm not going to sit here and straighten all the cards like I normally would. But let's see if I can't get anything else out of this. I think that Cancer, part of your biggest concern is, am I communicating my intentions clearly to everybody involved? And I think the answer to that is maybe. It depends on who's willing to listen. And is it verbal communication? No, I don't think it's verbal communication. I think it's communication through your actions. Through your responses, communication of your intention through your behavior, and remaining consistent. I think you're remaining consistent, which is really good. I mean, that, you know, that shows people that, look, I'm the King of Cups, and this is how I present myself. I give everybody a chance. And this is who I am. I am being authentic when I say I'm the King of Cups. And how do you prove that? Well, through your actions when you do. Ouch! Come on, Carmilla. She bit and she hung on that time, but she didn't bite that hard. I just get afraid that her beak is really sharp, and she has made me bleed. If you are a returning viewer, you know that to be true. And I just got my card, so I'm sitting here rambling on about Carmilla instead of you, Cancer. And I apologize, but you know how it is. When she's out, she causes me grief and distracts me from what I'm doing and what I'm saying. So anyway, what I was indicating is that, you know, you're the King of Cups, and you present yourself authentically, and your actions match your words and match your intentions. And so by adopting this tactic where you're not going to be the one who calls somebody out or treats somebody poorly because they're not doing things your way, it's kind of a way of saying, look, this is who I am, and if we're going to work well together, then you might have to adopt at least a similar way of behaving, because that's how we're going to accomplish this. That's how we're going to find success and see a positive outcome, is if we treat each other with respect and kindness and love. And so that's what I'm going to do. And if you can't do that, with somebody like this, then you step away. Separate yourself. Social distance. Carmilla, please stop biting at me. So we pulled the Six of Fire, which is the Six of Wands, which of course did come out in your reading. And I think that this card may have some similar meanings. It's been a while since I pulled this one. But I am going to read it from the book, and then we're going to call this a day. Cancer, Six of Fire. So the Six of Fire in the Rider-Waite is all about success, accomplishments, receiving accolades, being recognized by others for a job well done. This can indicate success of a group dynamic, things going well. I mean, this guy's in a parade, right? And he's got people around him too, and people are noticing, people are looking, people are admiring, right? This is about accomplishment, success, moving in the right direction, you know, making headway, moving forward. And this came out with the Chariot. So I believe this is where this group is going again, whether it's a working situation, a group dynamic, family, social circle, whatever this is. The group seems to be moving forward in a very positive manner with this glitch, and the glitch in the form of a Queen of Wands in reverse. So here's the Six of Fire. The Six of Fire represents a time of healing through meditation, negotiation, or arbitration. It is a time when communication and diplomacy is required in order to end a conflict or dispute. There are times in our lives when we may find ourselves caught up in a dispute or conflict after boundaries have been crossed or our feelings hurt or ego bruised. If lines of communication remain open and both parties are willing, the conflict can be resolved. However, there are often times when both parties find themselves unable to find or maintain the middle ground, and if they must continue to work or play a part in each other's lives, a mediator is required to negotiate or arbitrate a truce. This is really interesting because it's fitting in really nicely with this reading. I think that second part is true for you, that there is no way to find middle ground with this individual, and so maybe you are looking for a mediator, or in what I'm sensing is that your mediator is just giving each other space and allowing this person's actions to ultimately affect them and not other people. There are two sides to every disagreement, and there are times when both parties involved can be right and times when both parties can be wrong. For there to be a good outcome, both parties must first be willing to at least hear each other's point of view, and there are times when that will only happen if a mediator steps in to hear both sides without bias. Sometimes mediation is all that is required, and the simple act of allowing both parties to air their grievance and present their points of view allows them to come to a resolution on their own. I'm having a hard time with my words. I'm trying to talk too fast. There are also times when arbitration will be required because neither party is willing to make concessions or allowances for the feelings or rights of the other. It is left to the arbitrator to determine who is in the right based upon the laws of the land. Even if a complete resolution cannot be achieved, the Six of Fire asks that we remain conciliatory at this time. An open mind and a willingness to meet the other party halfway will stand us in good stead. The Six of Fire may also represent a pending legal situation where rules or laws have been broken and as a result harm has been done to another. The law will determine who is right and who is wrong. Justice will be served. In the circumstance, be sure to keep your emotions under control and have your facts straight. Remain respectful of the laws that are in place and be both courteous and considerate at all times. Your behavior, your attitude at this time have bearing on the outcome, as will a sound knowledge of your rights and responsibilities. Do not allow a lack of awareness or immoderate behavior place you at a disadvantage. This was perfect. And it's exactly what you're doing. Your actions, your behavior, your attitude will have a bearing on the outcome of the situation. And maybe this is actually a legal situation. I didn't feel like it was, but we do have justice out here. And I suppose that's possible. Depending on your situation and if you're resonating with this reading, that may apply for you. But I do feel like, you may at this time, I feel like strongly that this is something that has probably recently happened for you, or you're currently going through this situation, Cancer, so you might be unclear as to what the outcome will be, because I think it's going to take some time. Like I said, I think it's going to manifest slowly for you. It will take a little bit of time for this person to continue behaving the way they are, and then ultimately see what their actions and how their behavior affects them and not other people. Because so far, they have affected other people and not themselves, right? So Cancer, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that this reading resonated for you. I hope it gave you some clarity and helped you in some way, shape, or form. I really appreciate you joining me. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Cancer.